This conference will now be recorded.
All right, it is 6:15. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for the Town of Ennis regular commission meeting. We'll open the meeting and with the roll call of the commission. Commissioner Way.
Present.
Commissioner Ranson.
Here.
Commissioner Hankins. Here. Commissioner Hankins.
Here.
Okay. Commissioner Harding, sorry.
Here.
Okay. And I'm Mayor Lisa Roberts. And we will stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're looking at the approval of the meeting minutes from both the 3/12 and the 3/26 meeting. We can handle them independently. Mike? Is there any?
I'll move to approve the meeting minutes for 3/12.
Second.
Any discussion? Any public comment? Move to approve.
Aye.
Commissioner White? Ranson?
Aye.
Commissioner Hankins?
Aye.
Commissioner Harding?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes for 12. And the minutes for March 26th.
I move to approve the March 26th.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the commission?
No.
No. Any public comment on the meeting minutes from March 26th? Hearing none. Commissioner Ranson?
Aye.
Commissioner Hankins?
Aye.
Commissioner Harding? Commissioner Wade? All right, approved. Okay, now I'm going to move to department reports. The library.
Is it okay if I give my spot to the sheriff's?
Yeah, we can.
Probably has places to go, people to see.
I am the only one working right now.
Okay, great.
The other one's transporting someone we just arrested, so. It's just me and myself. So my name's Deputy Brandon Elmer. I got sent over here actually yesterday for the meeting and I found out that it wasn't yesterday. Drove by, thought I'd pop in and give you guys this. So, for the town of Ennis, we had a total of 132 calls for service. We had 1 criminal mischief, vandalism, 6 death investigations, 1 DUI, 2 motor vehicle accidents, and 2 animal complaints. For citations, we had 5 speeding citations, 1 DUI citation, registration violation, 2 of those, 1 liability, no liability insurance, and 1 no valid driver's license. For warnings, we gave 18 speeding warnings, 3 miscellaneous traffic, 4 registration violations, 2 inoperable lights, 2 stop sign violations, 3 parking violations, 2 dog at large, 1 open container, and 2 criminal trespass warrants.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, thank you very
Yep.
much. Is there anything else we need to be aware of?
that was basically all they gave me. They gave me a whole long list of every single call up, what kind
Yeah.
of happens, but I don't think you guys want to be.
Yeah, I think
They're
you have.
all hundred, they're all hundred.
We have those itemized out on the activity report that Christine sent over. So I don't think are there any questions for Deputy Elmer?
What's the depth?
The death indemnity,
Yeah.
those just, whether it's a hospice death or natural cause death, we just have to investigate the death to see if there is. That's all for so.
Any other questions or public comment on the sheriff's office report? Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming. Yes, we're
Will do.
typically always on Thursday.
Okay, well,
So thank-
I will try to remember that, but
so,
my sergeant just told me it was yesterday, and I came over here all the way from Twin Bridges. And I was like, oh, it's not here, so. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much. Have a safe night. Okay, now we will move to the library.
Great. All right, thanks, you guys. We are doing well. We're starting to see more traffic pick up through town as families move through, and it's really, it's nice to break out of, kind of move into tourist season. We have some great programs coming up. Bailey's working really hard to schedule our summer reading program, which you guys have heard me talk about year after year. This year, we're adding a couple sections to try to accommodate more age groups, have something for everyone. So most days, I think we only have one day during the week where we won't have programs scheduled. It'll be fun during the summer. Coming up, we have some great programs. I just want to make you aware of. Coming up Monday night, Sarah Camo, she is an amazing woman. She grew up on the Standing Rock Reservation in the Dakotas. She is of Lakota heritage, working as a nurse currently in Livingston. But right now, she's going to come over to Ennis and give us a talk about indigenous plant uses of the Rocky Mountain Front and Pacific Northwest. It should be, of medicinal and otherwise. She's going to bring a whole suite of things and knowledge. An amazing woman.
When is she there?
What's that, Monday? 13th at 5:30 p.m. It'll be a good one. And I'll on Friday, I'll blast it out there too on socials, so you'll have that time as well. And then on Tuesday, we are going to have a planting evening. It's a pop-in planting. We're just jumping ahead in our gardening education series, and we're doing soil block planting. And so we'll have a couple of master gardeners on hand, and just all medium available people can just come in and plant and ask questions about growing here in the Madison Valley. And then on the 21st, this is kind of a cool one too. I think there's a lot going on in town that night, so you have to pick and choose. Andrew Laszlo of the Granger Ranches, Andrew Senior. So Andrew Junior has written several books here in the Madison Valley, but he wrote a book about Andrew Senior, and we'll be presenting that information at Madison Theater. Things about growing up in Hungary, surviving the Holocaust, becoming a cinematographer on some famous films, just presenting his life in a variety of mediums. So that should be a good one too. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me? I don't think things are going well. We're just chugging along. Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, now we'll move to Public Works. I believe Eric is online.
I am, guys. How's it going tonight? Okay,
Very good.
so
Do you want to go through your report? Do you have it in front of you there, Eric?
I do. We
Okay.
kind of beginning to be a busy time of year for us right now. We, of course, we're doing our daily checks at all our well houses and checking equipment hours, tank level, all our alarms working. And on both our water and sewer side, we had the pleasure this month of changing out the floats and the North 40 lift station inside that. That was pretty fun.
Thank
It's
you.
been chugging right away. And getting our equipment hours. Sewer samples were sent off. I haven't met or done all the math and sent that into the DMR yet. I just haven't had time, but we have a big algae bloom out there right now, so it's going to be pretty tight on meeting our effluent limits. I think that's just due to the warm weather this year. And so we started looking at our lagoon and we threw bags of oranges in our lagoon. This may sound weird, but it tells you if your lagoon's short circuiting. It doesn't look good. So we're going to have rural water come out and we're going to sludge judge and see what's going on out there, getting it going. They'll be out next week, I think, if it all works out for them. But we should be able to get on top of that real quick. Did a lot of picking up rocks out there just to make mowing easier out our lagoon. We completely dismantled, cleaned, fixed our UV systems back up and running finally. We had a lot of help with their tech and the tech that we used to have. A lot of help. Just been getting everything ready. We're about to turn the water on and all that. We're getting ready for summer. So we will be starting, and I just got to tell everybody now, we're doing PFAS sampling, wherever chemicals. That's our thing. That'll be ongoing forever. It'll be 2 a year. It's nothing to be concerned about. We just, it's this kind of middle of the country just now starting to get into this. But we'll let everybody know about those results. I don't think we'll see anything. I really don't see any problems with that at all, other than the testing itself. But we did our monthly maintenance out at our lagoon. We spent a lot of time out there this month. We're getting ready to replace a curb stop out at the North 40 roundabout there. Yeah, staying busy. That's about really all I got.
Any questions for Eric?
Yeah, Eric, one question. Where were the 4 loads of road gravel? Where did they go?
They're in the back. I do that every spring. I get loads. So I get 4 loads every spring just for, okay, there's this needs addressed or that needs addressed on our dirt roads. We do that every year. It seems to work out pretty good. About 4 loads usually lasts us about a year. Yep. Just filling in holes. A lot of it goes into, like, you notice where people don't drive on the road. A lot of it goes right there, John, to be honest with you, for the most part.
Probably like the right of ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw the 4 loads of road gravel, but I didn't see any new road surfaces or anything. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting on, that's kind of a tricky thing. If you go too early with your roads and mag them, then it rains on them, and so I'm kind of waiting. I don't know if it's going to rain more or not, but we got to get on that here pretty quick. It should be real easy with all the work that we have done the last few years on those gravel roads. I think there's 1 or 2 more. I'd like to add some more dirt on or road mix just to give them more crown. Dig out the corners and stuff. So, we don't have that going.
Eric, do you have any update on the certification for the weed spraying in the alleys?
We talked a little bit about that. It is a certification. The county is sending out something. There's like an interlocal agreement between that, but it might be something we look at hiring out as well instead of instead of having them get an additional certification or whatever to look at, just hiring someone who's already certified to come through and do the alleys. But I know that the county, weed board coordinator is working on an interlocal agreement. So to go with all the towns, so. Thank you.
He is, and I haven't had time for that test. I just haven't had time, and the last email, I was told it's really, we all pay county weed board taxes, so,
Yeah, and I know, I wasn't trying to point you out or
No, no.
anything, I just.
Neither am I, we are gonna do what we can to work with them, like, we just have to, but it's gonna be, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of, getting that interlocal agreement.
We used to be able to work I used to be able to spray under their license, which was super, for them, actually, basically. But that was 2 years, and since then, they said they can't do it. So I'm hoping, to be honest with you, that would be on that interlocal agreement, just.
Yeah, we'll work it out. So I know that they're working on it. They're gonna send their draft over and we'll come to an agreement. So it'll come before you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll ask, you guys are down an employee right now. Are you putting out a request for employment?
Yeah, it's been
It is in the
advertised.
paper.
Been
We've got it.
advertised for water as well.
Eric, are you planning on having your lawnmower guy this summer?
He just turned all this paperwork in. He'll be out probably, I'm guessing, the middle of this month. We're gonna turn sprinklers on probably tomorrow. That's all it's gonna take, But
Yeah.
honestly, last year was kind of dry like this, and the guy really didn't mow much at all. But we do have one lined up. We're gonna get him in the alleys more this year earlier. That's my plan. So if you see us tearing up with the skidster and a rock bucket back there just so we can mow that stuff, don't be surprised,
And the forever chemicals you're testing for those at the point where we put the water.
Right at our wells. Right at our wells. And
Oh,
So it's a treatment. So if it was detected, you would need to treat the water before it was distributed.
Yeah.
So, and it's quite the testing process. It's pretty involved, but, so we'll have to test twice a year. We have to test twice before October.
we have to test once before October and then 5 months later. I'm planning on just getting ours done, and here's why. This is why I'm jumping on this fast. There is money from a lawsuit from 3M in Montana, but it's getting used up fast by Missoula. So we're all really if you do have a PFAS problem, there's money for that, but it's getting used up fast. So we're all kind of jumping on this as quick as we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Any other questions for Eric? Any public comment? No. Okay. Thank you so much, Eric. We appreciate it. Okay. Zoning, Susie is out on leave. She'll be gone for about 6 weeks. So we will move to planning with Cody Mercer and Michelle Sharp. So.
We
drafted a March report for you so you can kind of see what we're doing on behalf of the town each month, and then also kind of what we work on in the sidebar for the county end. Just because it occurred to me, you may not know. So you have that in front of you, but basically in March, there were 3 meetings we attended on behalf of the town. And town business, we've mostly worked on drafting some board advertisements to fill your land use boards, a draft annexation plan. I worked with the League of Cities and Towns and your attorney Ed Guza to draft a annexation plan. I just got that earlier this week. So I will be sending that to Mayor Roberts to forward to you to just start looking at. Probably next month, we'll bring forward a resolution of intent so that then we can open up and make sure it's what you want to move forward, to get something in place. Are we aware of what our annexation plan is? I should have asked that first.
It's the counties, yeah.
No, it would be the towns.
It would be the
Yep.
towns.
So, so it's a plan that you line out. If someone adjacent to town limits wants to annex in to town limits, it's a plan for how that happens and what you can review, what you can ask for, how that works to weigh out whether it's a yes or a no. So, and it sets the process for that. Huh?
We had a Form 1, right? Or is this a brand new?
No.
We didn't because when she annexed it. Yeah. We
Yeah.
waived it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's been some annexations, but there's not been a plan in place of how that works. So, yeah, pretty straightforward, yeah.
It's gonna line us out step by step, and it's lined out a lot by statute, right, by states.
Yeah, statute's a little bit vague and open-ended, but yeah, I think the draft we've landed on is something that everyone feels comfortable with, that's worked in those, so I think it'll, if nothing else, it gives you a path forward to consider things and weigh out the pros and cons. So, then we're also looking, of course, day by day at your zoning ordinance and regs and the forms and applications that go with those. I'd like to just update some of those applications right now, but they're folded into your ordinance, so we'd have to open the whole thing up. So I think just doing it at once makes more sense. So, there was a little discussion here and there on land use trainings for boards and commissions. We do have something set up. I forwarded it to the mayor. Montana League of Cities and Towns is partnering with MACO, Montana Association of Counties, to offer a land use training workshop for officials and boards. And that will be on June 9th from 6 to 9 in BC. I'm happy to forward that. You do have to register, it's free, but you have to let them know you're coming. So, and then also part of our county budget planning this year, we're going to ask the county to bring MSU Extension in for board training on land use as well. So we won't obviously get that request in until May, but if that's a go, then we'll probably schedule something for the fall when things slow down a little bit. So, and then various inquiries on all the things. On county planning business, the county approved 2 final subdivision plats, both minor subdivisions, 1 preliminary plat and 1 pre-application review. New addresses, we kind of use that as a gauge. We don't have building permits in the county, so there's no real method of understanding how much development we're seeing, but we use address assignments to gauge that. So in the month of March, there were 17 new addresses assigned countywide. Large projects, we're working on a sensitive lands mapping project where we've contracted a firm out of Colorado to pull data looking at sensitive wildlife habitats, corridors, areas of high conflict, traffic pinch points, recreation pinch points, water, meaning exempt wells, what we're seeing well logs do, wetlands, floodplain, things of that nature, and high risk wildland urban interface areas where people are losing their insurance. And we folded that into one big, lovely layered story map that will become available next month through the public. We have some public forums set up on May 5th, 6th, 5th and 6th. On the 6th in the evening, we'll be at the Ennis Library. We've got it posted out in the foyer too. But we're hoping to use that as mostly a guidance tool for when we do have larger developments and resorts and things of that coming, looking to develop as a way to guide them to areas where they're going to see the path of least resistance. So we aren't wasting a lot of anyone's time and money, either counties or landowner. So that's where that's at. We're almost done there. We're also working on updating our subregs because we should do that every 2 years after legislative session. So we also have a road index project we're working on. We're about to present that to the commissioners to send out to bid. It's a beast. If you want more details, be happy to share the long, horrible story with you. And then we also put out to bid our capital improvements plan for the county because it's grossly out of date. The last one was 2018. So that's out to bid right now. And we did pass our ordinance on updating our buildings release or rent regulations per statute. So then you can just see different meetings we attend. We're kind of all over the place, but yeah. Any questions? So many. Oh, no, I'm nerdy. I love it. Okay, then you've got 2 legal ads in front of you, one for Ennis Zoning Commission and one for a Board of Adjustment. Neither of those are full at this time. Do they have any members? We don't know. But I think the writing's on the wall for your land use that you'll probably need to move to a consolidated board because it's tough to get people to volunteer for such a horrific task. But to move to that step, you need to do your diligence and make sure that you've advertised to fill the boards as they are. So I would like permission to run these in the Madisonian, submit them tomorrow so that they run for the 2 weeks. Or you can see the deadlines on there. I just need to confirm if there's questions who you want those emailed to, whether it's Brenna, you, me, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So we can confirm that. And then I'd like to throw those in the paper so that then we can move towards getting you a board that's in place and ready to roll.
So,
I do.
no, go ahead.
Yes.
I do have a question because it says must reside in town limits on the zoning board of adjustment, and we have, like, our whole board doesn't live in town
Which board?
of adjustments.
Yeah,
Is that
per
like-
statute it has to.
Yeah, per statute it has to, and I think probably all of their terms are expired at this point.
So the code that we adopted is just, like, there's something in our code about it, isn't there?
Zoning board of adjustment, yes,
Yeah,
so,
but statute always supersedes
yeah.
anything.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
state, okay.
yeah. Mhm.
We can be more restrictive than the state, but we can't be less restrictive, so if they say the jurisdiction is
Yeah.
your planning area, then that's what it is.
Okay.
So that's for this consolidated board,
You have-
will be all in town for
Yes,
planning.
yes,
and-
yeah, the consolidated board statute is similar. Yeah, it's real specific, but it has to be town residents residing in town.
That makes it even more impossible, so.
Yeah.
Well, I think the goal is that if these are not filled, we'll just hopefully supplement, we'll consolidate it all. So it's basically, it'll be the planning board, the board, zone of adjustment, and the zoning commission will all be one.
And
Instead of
just
trying to
people.
have, so it's actually gonna be easier.
Yeah.
Because instead of having 7 on the planning board, and then 3 on the zoning commission, and then 5 on the board of adjustment, so that's 15 people.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go down to 7.
Five's the minimum.
5
So,
minimum.
yeah.
Okay.
But you can have,
You can have more, but 5 is the minimum.
5's the minimum. Okay,
Yeah.
And we
perfect.
can still have a commissioner sitting on there and like Susie's on there right now. That's-
Yeah, I think ideally. we would-
Ideally, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
because bottom line is in your land use reviews, like appeals come to the commission. So a commissioner shouldn't be sitting, making a decision and then re-reviewing without recusing. So, yeah, so it shouldn't be, and Susie shouldn't really be on those either because she should be the middleman. I mean, she's just presenting the facts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think she votes now, but still.
Right.
In
Yeah.
an ideal situation, we would have 5
voting.
voting
Yeah.
independent, yes.
Yeah.
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 So just for future, if we don't have a quorum, do we still move forward?
You can't take any action without a quorum.
Okay,
Yeah, so you would have to wait to take any action until there's an actual quorum.
but you should still have a meeting, just.
You
acknowledge
should,
that you
yeah.
Don't have.
Yeah, all of these boards, they have 4 mandatory meetings a year. It's specified specific months, like September, I can't remember what the, yeah, anyways. But you have to have a minimum of 4, but yeah, you can't actually take action unless there's quorum. So sometimes that means rescheduling when everyone can be there. If there's something pending. You can't withhold applications because you can't get quorum. So that's why I think there's a little urgency here just to get your boards filled and, or move to a consolidated board. So
Yeah.
the town isn't holding up an application. Yeah.
So then what's process moving forward with consolidating?
We have to try to fill these first through public notice. If you don't get any applicants or cannot fill the board, either or, then we can move the resolution to consolidate and advertise.
And we have to advertise these for how, 2 weeks,
15 days.
15 days?
Mhm.
Okay.
I usually
So we
put a
can
little
actually have
extra on there.
resolution To consolidate in the May meeting?
Probably not.
No.
No, I think June.
Okay.
Yeah, I did put a deadline to respond May 15th. I mean, that's
Okay,
some time. It shows diligence,
sure.
so. Are you okay for me to send these?
Yes, please do.
Okay, who do you want to be the contact?
I have no preference.
Neither do I.
Yeah, they can contact me.
All right, I'll copy you on that request. Okay, and then finally in front of you, you have a zoning code update timeline. This is not like you have to do this right now, but I wanted you to see a picture of the reality of how long these take and, or don't take. So Montana League of Cities and Towns has agreed to help on the technical end, which is fantastic news. And then we're happy to help on the user and front end, on the public end. But you can see here, you don't have to follow all these, but I don't know, I tend to err on the side of the more public engagement, the better. So kickoff meeting to start, community engagement and outreach, review of existing code, which we're already kind of doing right now anyways. Then a review of the existing zoning map, public work sessions, prepare a draft of updated code and map, board review. So you will need a planning board and or zoning commission or a consolidated board to get to this once you get here. So we have to do that there and do the public hearing with that board or commission. And then it comes to you for commission review. And then you would adopt it through ordinance. So of course there's timelines involved in that as well. There's some pieces like the mapping. I am not entirely certain that the county could do. I think your on-call engineer always has a GIS person that could draft a map based on where, just these are the parameters kind of. So I would expect that expense to be minimal. Outside of that, you have options. We don't have to do this for you either. You can apply for a CDBG grant to update your zoning code and hire someone to do it, which is totally fine. They're usually about 30 grand to do it. We do our own updates at the county. We can help you with this, but there will be some cost on advertising and hosting forums and hearings and things like that, but it's usually pretty minimal. So I think it's achievable in-house with the league and us helping, but so I don't know, just something to chew on. You don't have to take action on it today. I just wanted to put it out there, so.
No, I think it's great. It's definitely, for those who don't know, our last comprehensive zoning update was in 1996. So it's been a few years to do it. There was an attempt in 2017. I think the funding was in 2017. There was a draft done in 2019, and then COVID happened and nothing really ever happened with it. So, but I think we have seen different projects about we need to be more specific, our code needs to be more specific. And so people doing projects and for our own methodology of moving through it so it's clear. So I think there's too much vagueness. And so, and then stuff that doesn't apply, with state statute and
Yeah,
everything like that.
There's
And
a
then
lot
some
of
of the forms-
difference in
Yeah, there's
statute.
a lot of difference in statute, just for example, ADUs, they're now allowed. So how do we encompass, bring that to our code and then to update all the forms and everything along with it. So then that way, when someone's like, oh, I want to do a project, there is an absolute clear path, flow chart, everyone knows what the expectations are. And so it makes it easy on both sides of the equation for that.
And I mostly wanted you to have this timeline, so you could kind of see how much involvement you are required to have versus how much you want to have. I mean, ultimately, it lands at the commission. So there's lots of pieces that you really can and can't be involved in, but it's not your load to carry necessarily until the end, so.
Sweet. Lisa.
It's like,
Yeah.
So can I ask, like ADUs, is that the fact that we don't have our additional well in yet is reason enough to be like, no, you can't put an ADU in here in town? Or,
Yes and no, it's not really that black and white. So now statutorily by right, everyone, regardless of zoning, has the right to have an additional dwelling unit on their property. Now, there has to be this capacity to tie in to serve that. So it can't be a carte blanche. It has to be on a case by case.
sure, same with annexation, is that reasonable to say that we
100%.
deny because?
Yeah, 100%. In fact, that's the whole point of annexation. The first and foremost consideration is, do we have the capacity to serve them? Yeah.
any other questions for Cody?
I have one. For the Board of Adjustment, can you tell me where on the Montana code it says you have to be a town resident?
Well, maybe.
Because I tried to look at the one that's referenced on the ad, and there's
Is it not
nothing.
pulling?
Yeah.
Did I put the wrong thing?
No, you did the right thing. It
Are
just
you sure?
doesn't say anything about being a town resident.
Okay. Let me pull it for you. Can I dig for a minute? Okay.
And we don't have any registered books in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Do you have a new?
No, we don't have a new one yet.
Hold on.
You have the 25? I don't think we have them yet.
Is it bright orange?
I have no idea.
We haven't gotten it yet.
I mean,
Oh, this one's 2025 though too. The one that.
Yeah.
okay, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just have the legislative review. I don't
Right.
see the statute.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're working on.
Can I email it to you? And I'll check that.
Okay, yeah. Just because previously, every person that's been on that board has not been a town resident.
Yeah, so it did change in 21. They changed the rules on boards within cities and towns. So the town adopted ordinances may not have,
But when did the town adopt that Board of Adjustments?
2011 or 2013, right? It was part of the zoning ordinance.
Part of the zoning, but when were those people,
Right.
born in like 20, it was probably 2021, I think it was 2021.
Or 22 at the latest.
Or 2022, but we might not have known of the legislative
Right.
changes that have happened.
Which is pretty normal. Yes, the state tried to, not consolidate, tried to more efficiently make sure that representation or control and recommendations and advising of land use in a jurisdiction stayed within the jurisdiction. So they did a pretty concerted effort to make sure that, yeah, because there used to be that you could have like at large and all these things.
Yeah,
and they
or
took all
within
that
a
away.
planning or radius or whatever,
Yeah.
I think that was what it was based on before.
But I will still check it.
Thank you.
I mean, if not, maybe we'll get Justin Bieber.
Oh, you're looking to dip up the hill?
Yeah.
I see.
Any other questions? Okay. Moving on to our budget report, those are in the drive. They're the short, I expenditures versus actual, or revenues versus actuals. Take a look there. What's that?
Did you forget clerks?
Oh, I did forget clerks. I'm so
I was just gonna
sorry.
say, you're gonna come back.
I know, I apologize. I had crossed out
What would we do
MSCO.
without you, Myron?
What would we do without Brenna is
Yeah, I
the
thought you were
question.
gonna say
Thank you, Brenna. Okay, go ahead, Brenna.
Any questions initially on the report that I submitted?
You gotta put a disclaimer on that enrollment for auto pay for a fee added if you use credit card.
Oh, yes. I remember you coming in and talking about that.
Yes.
We can do that.
Should be added.
I know I asked you this last time, how are we doing on the sign up for the new water auto pay
Good. I'm saying
portal
there's
thing?
average once a day, or one register every day, so that's, I don't know the total right off the top of my head right now, but it's doing good. I've had maybe 5 phone calls of like, how do you do this? Walk them through, and they're very appreciative that I'm able to walk them through it, and they haven't gotten any bad feedback on like workings of it, so like it so far. And then off the top of my head, that wasn't in the report that's moving on, we will be, the mayor and I will be working on training with like the Zerker, so we can do warnings and citations. So it's just through the system that the county already uses, so we can just add them in there. They go to where they need to go for whatever, and it's done. And then I've been working on obviously our lovely owl, so getting that better in placement, so.
Yes, I think once we get the citation or that stuff going, we will concentrate on short-term rentals and making sure that they're compliant. So that was, so any of the municipal code. So we have a training with Christine next week.
Sweet.
Anything else? All right.
Okay, budget reports there. Here's the short versions. If you need the long version, we can always get that from Jody if you'd like. Any questions there? Where we're at. Any public comment? Local government review update. I believe Brittany Hirsch is on. Brittany, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now, Brittany. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, hello. So we met last Wednesday, myself, Kelly Elster, Lisa, and Karen Ketchu, just to kind of reconvene after the winter and go over what we had progressed through last year to make a game plan for moving forward. We'll have a few more meetings here coming up to get some dates on the calendar and final plans for our recommendations and our final report that we'll present to the board. Of course, some of you know this, but as Lisa has taken the role of mayor, she has to resign from her position on local government review. So we'll have an open seat, and we'll need to get that posted so we can possibly fill it with someone who might be ready to just jump on board halfway through. So we'll get that posted here shortly. And as far as timeline, I think we started working backwards again as far as getting any sort of recommendation on the ballot in November of this year. We would need to, again, same as last year, present it by the end of July, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, to the board, the commission, town commission, and you all would just decide if you approve for our recommendation to move forward to being on the ballot. It's not necessarily that you approve and want, agree with our recommendation, but just to formally approve it moving on to the ballot to be voted on by the citizens. So that's where I can't tell, sorry if Karen's there.
Any questions for Brittany or Karen?
What are the requirements to be on the board?
Yeah,
Live in town.
You have to live in
another
the
round, that's it. There's
You're
some
a
receipts.
certain- you have to be an eligible voter. I think most of the work is done there, so it was, like Brittany said, it was fine tuning and transition plan and the final report, so. And moving.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know if that was my phone or the app, but I got kicked off. So I don't know what you heard or what you didn't hear. I apologize.
No, we heard, yeah, I think we heard most of it, so thank you.
Okay.
So, yeah, any public comments? Hearing none, thank you, Brittany. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Move on to claims.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
No.
Public comment? Myron?
Byron, what you got?
I thought that card was going south instead of the interest charges keep adding up.
Yeah, so we had to work with, so some of our subscription services were still attached to that card. So we're hoping we can finally get it and put it to rest with Chase. So, we had thought that those had been moved over, with DIS, but they still showed for the last month for those subscription for Google Workspace and whatnot.
I would switch over to the new account.
Yeah, to the new account, which is Valley Bank
Okay.
Visa card. Any other public comments? Discussion from the board? No? Move to approve. Commissioner Hinkin.
I,
Right?
Aye.
Okay. Public comment on non-agenda items. This is the chance for any members of the public to comment on something that's not on the agenda. Going once? Anyone online? Going twice? Okay, public comment on non-agenda items is closed. And we can move the order a little bit around, but we'll start with the Great West Engineering Task Order number 10. It was revised. I emailed that to you guys. I think I put that in there. So basically what it is, we had a meeting with Colette and also a meeting with the wet engineers. And basically we came up with, we do have a pre-treat ordinance that was established in 2022. We can pull that up, but there's a lot of technical pieces to that pre-treatment ordinance that we don't have standard operating procedures for. So it would be really nice to, for users of the system and as well as for our staff to have a clear path forward on how that ordinance is put, enforced and put into motion. So, they were at first gonna do a whole big rewrite and whatever, and I was like, that is, too much. So, they scaled it back down, and this is what they came up with. So, I'd like to get your input on it. So kind of goes through, there is a kickoff meeting.
Yeah.
And then they'll do some data. You can kind of read through that. So.
Can I ask a random question?
Sure.
Every time we reorder these tasks, are we paying for that?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so we have our general, and it was kind of lined out in our claims this time. So so you have your general on call, which just, another side piece, that ends in August. And we've exhausted all the extensions on that, was first signed in 2018. It was a 5-year contract, 2023, 23. The commission extended it for 3 years, and that's it. So we do have to put a request for proposal out for on-call engineering. So, and then the on-call engineering, kind of based on those claims, they talked to the school district, they fielded some questions with some other engineers. They did that MFE, which is a facilities use exemption for subdivision. So they field questions like that. But then when there is a specific, like, hey, we have this issue and we need concentrated focus on this, then they fill out a task order. And so that has been what's been with the PER regarding like the well house project and the storage tank and all those. Those are specific task orders. They're outside the general on-call situation. So that's what it is. And this kind of wraps up, from what I understood from Colette and a little bit of research, it was like Great West made a proposal to do the pre-treatment things, and then, the pre-treatment ordinance and whatever, and then basically, they gave some examples, and then the previous administration just put forth the example, and then it wasn't like fully completed, if that makes sense. And then it wasn't like, okay, well then here's your standard operating procedures. So, I think it's, you know, a good ordinance to have, but we need to know, it needs to be clear on both sides for the users and for our staff as to how to work through it. Because it talks about discharge permits, a bunch of other things that we need to know how to implement. And it wasn't included because we used it was the examples were used. We didn't sign a task order with them.
We didn't have to do
22.
it.
Yeah. So, and I think they did give,
Some things were maybe changed a little bit, I don't think so.
So that's what I would like, just a comprehensive way to do it.
So this is happening, right? So
Well, then it's up to you guys. Yeah, you can move to approve, and then we can have a second, and then we can discuss, like, so.
Okay, I'll move to approve the Great West Engineering Task Order number 10.
I'll second for the record.
Is there something we should do now or wait until we put out for you?
No, I think we have to do
Do
this
it
here
now.
pretty
I
soon.
think so too, because
Yeah, I think it would be good for all of our industrial users to, you know,
I
because
was just saying,
it's been sitting out there since 2022, hanging out there, and no one knows how to implement it.
We have no guidance, so.
Yeah, we have no guidance, so that,
From the users, I think.
yeah, and from our end too. And so that's kind of, after sitting through these meetings and going through stuff, it's like, okay, well, how do we implement this? So,
I think we need to do this here straight away.
yeah.
The bummer, it's gonna cost us $7,500.
I was just thinking we wait till we work with somebody else.
I think-
The timeline on it is to be done by June.
Also, we don't have time, so yeah, okay.
I mean, well, that's what they're proposing. So once they get started on it, it will be, you know,
By June. So then we can move on and make progress.
And then
Yeah.
put that, but
yeah, and then we can look for an RFP in the meantime. So, yeah, which we should probably, you know, get that set for next month, is to start advertising for that, because our contract with them ends in August.
okay.
Any other
I'm good.
questions? Any other discussion? Public comment?
Call the question.
Okay, Commissioner Hardy,
Aye.
Commissioner Way,
Aye.
Commissioner Ranson, Commissioner Henkin. Okay. Moves forward. Okay. And if folks are okay with it, I would like to move
Long Branch Saloon discussion agreement, design discussion to next, because we have, Long Branch owner Hannah is here, and then Cody Markser and Michelle Schrock are here as well, so then that, they don't have to sit through the rest of the other stuff, so. Yeah, so at our March 26th meeting, we moved to continue the discussion on this with more, once we got more information on design, it was determined that the design it sounded like the commission was in support of the second story. It was just that the design element and some of the public health and safety items needed to be addressed further throughout the design. So that's what it came to. So we had asked for more information on design. I did receive a photo, and then I believe Cody, we received some additional information just this afternoon. So we will put that up.
What do you want to see first?
Why don't you do the
Pose.
So that was the photo.
Alternative.
And then I guess you can move through the other.
See, I'll just start with the one here. Look at, oh. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
They won't open in line.
You can't scroll. Figure out how I can zoom up and down without making it zoom in.
I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. We can scroll up and down if we need, or.
I can download it too.
So, yeah.
And this is one. So this is obviously the front.
And these were just added today?
I think they came into my email yesterday, but my email was down, so I got them today, but
Because, yeah, I looked yesterday, I didn't see anything.
yeah, I just forwarded them today when I finally got my email up and received.
Yeah, these specific ones I got as soon as I was getting here, so.
Yeah.
That's why they're screenshots from my phone.
Sorry, can you go back to the one you were just on for?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll put it down.
And Hannah, can you explain, are these different from, are these just more 3D models?
This is the structural engineering
Okay,
versus the drafting that you've seen before.
okay, so, okay, so I just wanted to see what the difference was.
It looks like they're two different images to me. 'Cause
I think
this
that
one's
one's the
and
back.
Front.
That's the.
The
one's
top one
the
is
back.
the front, the back one, or the bottom one is the back.
Yes.
But even right here, where it's pointing towards the front, looks like this section is included. Whereas this, am I wrong? I don't know what you're talking about. So this front portion to me looks like it's open. It is open. There's a totally enclosed space, as you can see at the top.
Yeah.
Then there's the middle spot that is covered. And then there's the front portion that is completely uncovered, which is a very small portion.
And does the enclosed part go all the way to the property line, to the edge of the building?
Yes.
Oh, because I see the railing there. Is there walking space between the enclosed portion and I guess I'm just wondering why would there be a railing there?
I don't think that that's actually the railing. I think that's the structure
That's-
that it's being
yeah,
built
that's-
on.
That's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this doesn't show railing, it just shows the structural engineer of the
Okay.
platform, or whatever you want to call it.
Floor.
Floor joists.
Support.
Okay.
This is the other side from the front, other side from the back.
So in Hannah, that image of the railing is what you're proposing to put?
There's 3 images that I sent.
I only know one.
Oh, yeah, look, there's 3.
Oh, only one came through.
Yeah, I definitely sent 3 of them.
This is the one I received.
Yeah.
Those two, so we can do them better for you.
Yeah, there were two more, and I have them. But they were all very similar, one including using exactly what I wanted to use to begin with. That is on Main Street already.
Okay, and so I guess
The railing in the front isn't the issue.
The size is.
The railing on the sides and that being the only thing and the other roofs being almost equal.
But is that in the town code, that I have to have higher walls?
it's
I don't
part of
think
the
it is.
traditional neighborhood development, yes, it is. So it's not specifically outlined, but in the traditional neighborhood development, and I can pull that up. It talks about different design, and that's where our code is somewhat, it's vague, but it says that each design needs to meet those specific criteria. Let me pull it up here for you. Chapter numbers, overlay districts, chapter 3, chapter 11. Commercial zoning overlay districts. Yeah, the traditional, so it's in chapter 11, 3F-1, and it's the traditional neighborhood development overlay. So you have zoning of the core commercial. So in core commercial, and then you have an overlay, a zoning overlay called the traditional neighborhood development. And that has, let's see, that has 11 components to it. And so design quality, uses, density and intensity, parking and loading, acceptable alternative arrangements, or let's see, parks and trails, community facilities and utilities, landscaping, signs, access and linkage. And so that's what we went through on the March meeting, is we went through each one of those 10 components of the traditional neighborhood development.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where design quality and public health and safety that's the one that we felt that still needed some more work in regards to getting a design that would work with the traditional neighborhood development.
So what's the wording in that?
So it says design quality of site, landscaping, structure viewed in context with the proposed project's compatibility with its immediate surroundings and with the town's unique character shall be primary criteria by which the acceptability of all T&D proposals shall be measured. So, and I think that was with how it was explained to us, and we can maybe pull up. Brenna, could you maybe go to the previous meetings? Maybe. Oh, sorry. And having, I don't think the hog wire panel.
It's even on this meeting, on the site
zone
permit.
Like the lower railing, that's not the issue. It was having it higher up, felt like that would essentially, if it was that high up on the side, 6 to 8 feet, it looked like a cage, essentially. And so that is where the design quality, that's where we were asking for more information, specifically on the side panels, not necessarily the front. Everyone was okay with the front, it was the side panels and how that was going to.
I mean, I don't think it looks like a cage, and I think it'd be great, because I plan on big plans
and stuff through there to make it look nice.
Well, plants only survive in the summer, not in the winter time. So that's what we're specifically asking for, is for a different design for, am I right? You guys are
Yeah,
the
we were
ones.
hoping for like a faux wall or
Yeah,
like a
like-
slanted wall, just to kind of.
Something that matches more of the downtown aesthetic, is I think is what we're.
So we're looking for modern or rustic, because a lot of the buildings are very modern right now, but in the town code, it says rustic. So
So-
what are we looking for?
So and through all the meetings that I've ever been, the town code is small town western character, and that's what we have to define. And what do you mean by modern? Like I believe Commissioner Corey Hardy's house is modern. And-
I mean, glass ground Willie's is modern. If you look up glass, it is modern. Plexiglass glass, it's modern.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
But they also have elements of batten board siding. They've got, I think it's a combination of the two. They also have, yeah, they have the batten board siding, they have the metal, or whatever. So I think there's a creative solution here somewhere. It is just the commission, you know, I think the sides are the issue.
Willie's
not
doesn't
the
have
front.
the extended side either because there's nothing adjacent.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
But even like Burnt Tree, they have a slatted wall, like in the back and stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a unique situation being a building that's in the middle with no other buildings.
That are that tall and.
Your neighboring buildings don't have a second story, so it's gonna,
I mean, that also takes away of the point of having a patio as well. So if you were just gonna stare at walls, I mean,
Well, I
that's
don't
kind of
think that
what
would
it's
be
like
set-
at Burnt Tree.
well, I don't think they necessarily have to be solid. That's where we were looking for a creative design to implement that, keep, you know, the public, safe from either side, so they don't get the urge to jump over the railing onto a neighboring building.
Yeah, I think that's kind of outrageous.
Well,
to
in
think,
my opinion
honestly.
too, like this, this was the only section I thought would look nice, kind of shaded, and then you would still have this entire portion that would be open patio. That's my personal, when I was looking at.
So I'm
it
gonna
before.
put walls over literally the whole shaded part and have walls. What's the point of having a patio at that point? Are you
not
barely
have
gonna be
tables on the
outside?
Outside part?
What was that?
Are you not gonna have tables on the front portion? Or like,
Yeah, but as you can see, it only goes over so far. So you're talking about putting up walls. I mean, if you went back to the structural engineering, or if you turned it. Maybe I could
Do
see
you know
what
what
you're
the
saying better.
distance of the patio is from where the enclosed?
The inside of the building itself is almost 50 feet. So the inside, that is completely inside, if you go to the,
Yeah,
like right there,
Yeah.
that in itself is 50 feet.
okay, so what's from the enclosed, so from the middle, from where the enclosure
I
ends
believe only
to the front? What is?
20 and then 8 maybe. So you're asking for me, that middle section, let's put it into 3 sections. There's a front section, the middle, and the back. The back is already completely closed. It can be a fully enclosed. It already is, that's the plan. Then you have the middle part, that is gonna be open. Then you have on the sides, because the roof is obviously going over. And then the front part is very minimal because of the snow impact. I didn't want to deal with snow and we didn't want the snow impact, so the snow will still fall exactly how it already does. And then the front is completely open. So you're asking me to put walls at that middle section. That's what you're wanting.
I thought we said the middle and the whole sides of the building, so it looked more continuous with the other buildings.
What's the point of having patio? That makes no sense.
It's still open. It's just,
No, that he just said, the middle part, did you
but you're
not just
not
say the middle
enclosing it,
part
you're just putting
continuous?
something up for safety.
For the sides, that's not open. It is not open. Are you talking about putting panels, basically all the way to where the roof line is? That's what you're wanting?
What do you mean, panels to the roof line?
On this picture behind,
Basically where you have the hot wire.
That whole strip, yeah.
So you basically just want me to build walls, is what you're asking? I mean, essentially, those are 2 walls on either side, is that correct?
Most,
Replacing the hot wire with something solid.
Yeah,
Is that-
no, we just said, is there another option? Because when you drive down Main Street, you're gonna see the hot wire up there. If you
I
look-
have a comment.
It
I
does
think
not-
hot wire is Western. I think it is Western and can look very nice. You see it behind the library. You see it at the building right across from, on 3rd Street, there's that gentleman's house and he's got that big porch and
I
that's
think it
really
was-
nice looking hot wire.
Yeah, and I think that at 30 or 42 inches, that's fine, but when it's 6 or 8 feet tall, then that was the concern. And so,
Because
then
there-
is there a creative solution, not that they need to be solid or whatever, is there another design element that would work instead of the hot wire? So it doesn't have that cage-like appearance at 6 to 8 feet high.
We're at 42 inches with the normal railing. What if we went 1 bar above that? I mean, somebody's gonna have to literally crawl over it to jump over it. Like if we did another railing, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with
well,
an
we
idea.
can't tell them what to do. We can
Can't
just
tell them
say-
what-
Never gonna know what to do, but I mean, like 42 inches, I can see somebody being done at some point. I could. If it's right there,
I don't know that, I mean, because the bottom line is like, the
Safety.
town doesn't have adopted building codes. So really, any applicant has to follow the state adopted building codes. And I
Which is
believe,
42 inches, correct?
I believe so. So
Yeah.
I don't know that there's authority here to ask for higher. I know it's a weird circumstance, but
so who's the fall back on with something safe, unsafe happens?
well,
There's lots of unsafe things that happen all the time around every single business.
it's not, if any project is meeting the minimum state requirements, that's the state requirements. I mean,
Sure, it's
unless you've adopted your own building codes, but
ultimately up to Hannah to police her business.
any
It's like
business,
every
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not against building higher, that's completely fine, but I do feel like when somebody is trying to tell somebody exactly what to do or exactly what something needs to look like and they're not paying my bills, I think that's a little much.
I think that's exactly what we talked about at the last meeting, was that we were not allowed to, at the March 26th, we had several discussion points, is that we were not allowed to tell you exactly what to build. And that's why we wanted more design
Options or something. We just thought the hot wire
presented.
would look.
That's what we asked for, was more design options to be presented, and that didn't happen. So that,
But
I
you're
think,
essentially telling her that you just don't like the way it looks, which isn't necessarily the place of the government to say.
but it is,
design like
but it
that.
is, and
But
it
it's
is,
Western.
but it is,
Western.
it's in the design.
You're
it's in-
arguing that you want Western, and I would argue that our hot wire can
It
look
is.
very nice and Western.
Yeah.
And it does look nice. The exact paneling that I want to do and that I plan to do with thick beams of wood is exactly it's a residence/commercial building, I believe,
Yeah.
is that M&M Services. He
Oh,
has
yeah,
exactly his deck, his balcony.
Mhm.
It's very nice looking.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to do. And I'm not against building higher, like I'm not against it, but I'm not having a patio and having it completely enclosed. That makes zero sense.
Nobody asked for that. We just asked for.
We just asked for full walls.
I think
Different
definition
design
of
options.
walls, I think
Yeah,
to be clear, it's a difference in materials, not necessarily an enclosed wall.
because that structure needs too much and costs way too much. We already done that. Tyson went over that.
Yeah.
So we're not asking for that.
So it's not just hog panel, it's essentially gonna be framed.
Yeah, it has to be.
Like I wouldn't just.
But we don't know
Like,
what we can do. This is all we see. So we
Yeah.
don't know what you're planning to do.
Yeah, bring an idea.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
So you
Maybe
have
they
to
need an AI in
present,
it.
yeah, so you're gonna have to present.
Well, I mean, wasn't it at the last meeting, wasn't it asked if it could be pulled up of what something like that would look like, and then
Yeah,
everyone said
but-
no?
well,
Yes, it
we-
was.
Okay,
So but
What?
when we approve something, when the commission approves something, it has to be represented and specifically lined out. So it can't just be like, oh, well, you know, this is what it's gonna look like. It has to be presented to them with the materials. If we're talking about design quality, it has to be presented with the materials, what it's gonna look like. And so then that way, when it's being built, there is a reference point to say, this is what Hannah said she was gonna build, and she did. So there has to be that, instead of being like, oh, don't you remember, we pulled up that one picture from Google. So it has to be represented in the plans for the T&D agreement. That's what we ask for. So they can't require you to, you know, make it more than 42 inches, but you can certainly propose it to them in a design and say, hey, this is what I would like to do, and then they can move to approve it. But it has to be represented so they can look at it, evaluate it.
Well, why would I have a structural engineer go and put
You don't have to,
design?
well, you don't have to
on
have a
this?
structure, it doesn't have to be a structural engineer to do it. Okay, so you could have you
We
can
didn't
have,
ask for structural engineers then. Structural engineer stuff is in your other stuff. in the
Yeah,
planning
but
board.
You guys never asked for the structural engineer to them?
I did last meeting because I was unsure.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
But that
if
was gonna
it
say
It also came up in planning asking. for-
It was in
Yeah,
planning
that
and
was-
then she asked
that was
about.
the
but this,
14
it could be a
days.
design, it could be a sketch, it doesn't have to be a structural engineer plan. It could be a design or a sketch to show, and then, you know, if you have the hog wire materials, you know, like, oh, we're gonna use this cedar, we're gonna use this, the beams are gonna be this big, whatever, and then put it together in a package there, then that's what they can consider.
And please keep in mind, we weren't.
None of us are against this. We don't know what this is.
And we weren't in the planning.
Planning board meetings, we have no idea.
We're not a part of that. So me just looking at that, I don't see any frame around the hog wire or anything. It really just looks like.
Yeah, and that just shows the flooring too, which is a little.
Well, this
different.
one,
So
with the
they're
hardware.
just asking for, designs, sketches, and so you can take what you heard this evening. They can't require you, like I said, they can't require you to go over to 42 inches, but you can propose a design that maybe is not 6 to 8 feet tall. And so that would, you know, like Christie's recommendation, that's higher, so.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why do you need higher walls on the sides?
I think it was to protect people from jumping because all those roofs are flat
And even
all the way across.
They could jump up the front.
So
to
you-
nothing, or a roof that's right there.
Yeah, and walk all through the neighbors' roofs.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
So where are we on this?
Yeah.
I have a comment. As somebody that was at both meetings, could you kind of be more specific on what you want? So when she leaves here tonight, she has a better understanding of exactly what's wanted, because maybe it was told to you by the person, I'm not blaming the person that was here representing you, but so that you have a clear understanding of what they want, so you're not continuing to be delayed.
Right, I just thought you needed photos, which I thought all 3 photos, because I was told that you also wanted alternatives. So I thought all 3 photos sent, but apparently only 1 sent to you, and then you only sent it today as well.
No, that
No,
photo
she
went.
said-
Oh, the other one,
Yeah,
okay.
the designs came from Tyson.
Oh, the structural.
Yeah,
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 having
which one
several
approved it?
alternatives, they wanna know what you're gonna do. So instead of having like several alternatives, just,
No, wasn't it
you know
suggested
what
to
they
have
want.
alternatives?
Yeah, it
Multiple
was
alternatives?
suggested to have
Yeah, and that's, I
alternatives.
think that's where the confusion's coming in.
Well,
She
so
needs to know exactly
No,
what
I
you
know
guys are looking for.
Well, so but we only got 1. So that's where the confusion came in. There was only 1 picture presented.
This time, you're talking about right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
to be voted on tonight.
Yeah, and it was just, yeah.
I think we want to see like that original drawing you had with the hot wire. if you redesign that
Or
with,
tell us what you're gonna do with it.
with the new idea on that original drawing, that would be sufficient. Does that make sense?
Like you want me to go back to my drafter and have him
Well,
redo it?
You don't, no, you don't necessarily have to go spend more money. If you have a
What's my point?
picture of a deck.
I have a picture of a deck right now, which I understand it didn't get sent tonight, like I understand that, I'm not saying.
Cause like,
And then
honestly,
you have dimensions.
all
and
we
you
knew
have-
was hog wire going up on the
yeah,
sides.
that,
Does that make sense? That's all we're asking is like, is it just hog wire with metal pole across the top, look like a UFC cage, or what is it? Does that make sense? Cause this is all we have to go off of.
I mean, can I send you 2 photos, or is that gonna have to be for the next meeting?
Well, we would also, I think they would need dimensions and a description of everything that's gonna be
of
done.
how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
What do you mean of how it's gonna look? So you want me to go back to my drafter essentially and have them draft something? I can't just draw how it's gonna look. Like, I'm not drawing that, a drafter is. So essentially, that's what you're asking. Is that correct?
I mean,
No,
However you want to present it, whether it's a drafter.
you sent
or you
pictures
have a-
already and you have pictures, but
If you have a drafter or designer or whoever, yourself, whatever, it needs to be presented so they can evaluate it. And if you need the dimensions of how tall it's gonna be, if that's the route.
43 inches. That's exactly how tall it will be.
Would a
The
hand
state
sketch,
required.
would a hand sketch work for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would hand pictures.
So if Hannah had a picture of what it looked like and mapped it out on that says, here's the
Yeah.
location of this fence.
But I don't think the 43 inches is gonna satisfy. I'm just letting you know.
But that satisfies the state.
I think it has to.
Yeah, well, then it doesn't satisfy the design quality and the public health and safety.
I don't know, because you have to abide by state building codes.
Yeah.
So if that's the minimum, that's the
But couldn't the
minimum.
planning board put that as one of their recommendations for approval?
Right, but you still have the final authority and you have to follow the state rules.
Yeah.
So it's a little dicey. I mean, yeah. I think when you start to, I think we all understand the perspective and the risk associated with not being higher. But if that's what the state has adopted as the code and the town doesn't have its own codes that say differently, that have been vetted through the public process, like the state codes have, I don't think you can be more stringent. You'd be rolling the dice on that.
So all that's left for me is to bring back the material or a picture of the material that I'm using and saying exactly where it is going for the railing. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, some sort of drawing, plan, picture, and then, all right, the posts are gonna be made out of 4x4, the sides are gonna be made out of whatever.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a clear path forward of what needs to be presented.
How about by when? I think that's important so that we can keep this moving.
Yeah, so,
our next meeting is gonna be the 23rd. Is that right?
if we have claims, that's particularly only for claims. Or the other meeting, the other regular meeting is in March, or in May. So, when would you like it by? So,
I don't know, I mean, obviously, if we have a meeting later this month, but that's not guaranteed.
yeah,
So our next scheduled meeting is May, right?
yeah,
So at least that long.
yeah. So in our regular meeting,
It's on the 14th, so it would be, need to be by like the 7th.
Sure. And then that's it. There's nothing else that I need to bring forward. There's nothing else that needs to be done. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, you do have the other conditions that you have, right? That you saw in the draft T&D, so.
But she wouldn't need that by the meeting. She'd just
Yeah, you
need that
don't
to
need that
get.
by the
Yeah.
meeting, but you were gonna need, but you're aware of those, correct?
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
Do you wanna go through them? Just so
Sure,
know?
you can,
Okay,
yeah.
sure. Okay, let's see. So the number one conditions for approval was, the application for the zone site permit is considered binding, and the project shall be in compliance with the representations provided therein, except as modified by these conditions or agreement with the town. Any necessary approvals from the Town of Public Works Department shall be retained. T&D agreement, all ordinances of the Town of Ennis shall be adhered to at all times. All requirements of the Ennis Town Code, including zoning requirements, shall be adhered to at all times. All applicable building and safety codes shall be adhered to. Number 7 was stricken. Structural engineer plans shall be submitted when complete. The applicant shall adhere to all applicable required permits and requirements. All neighboring businesses will be notified 72 hours of advance of materials that will be coming in from Stephen Street.
I do have a question about that one and kind of the easements as
Yeah.
well. So when the neighbors behind me built their little mini houses, how come I didn't have to have, like, I didn't have to give permission?
So what,
when they took up my parking for a lot of the summer when
so
the
those little
contractors-
cabins?
Yes.
So you could have, as a private property owner, you could have asked them not to.
But
park
was
there.
it in their T&D that they had to ask other property owners?
So they have access from the street.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brenna, will you pull up cadastral?
So they didn't have to ask
No.
because they had this
They
access,
had
so they just used this area, which isn't a big
Which
deal.
you
It's
could
a
have told them
short-term
not
thing,
to or
it's
asked
a
them
short-term
not to.
thing, yeah, I don't really care. I was just curious as
Yeah,
to
so
why
they
they
have,
didn't.
so they
Okay.
have legal access from the street.
Okay.
And like when Horsefly did theirs, she has a legal easement from the street to the back of her building.
Okay.
So, and then I think, is it, Josie has the legal access from her street. And you might have it, the question, you might have a written easement. It would be on your, when you purchased your building, you would have a title commitment and it would say whether or not you had an easement. So you just wanted to show that you had legal access back there. It was explained to Tyler, Tyson, sorry, excuse me, is that it's always good to have permission ahead of time, so then that way you're not in the middle of a project and, you know, something frustrating happens and then they say, oh, no, you can't use that. So just wanted it to be documented that you were able to use that, so it wasn't doing the work in front, so there's not a situation going on.
And the Lindstroms, I know this week, I talked to them today, they did a deep dive with their lawyer on that access and came up with that it was just a sewer easement there and they owned straight to, and they did all this work and they forwarded it to me today and I chatted with them about it today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it's just where that legal access is, so.
Okay, so if I don't get easement, or if I don't get the permission of everybody, then basically I just have to go the route of getting DOT permits for in front of the business, is that correct?
If they're not gonna give you, I mean, it's a good conversation to have. I mean, you might not get permission to them, but if you start, I just don't want you to get all that stuff started and then have a roadblock that way. So it was like to get, So talk with your neighbors ahead of time and let them know, you know, and work out something ahead of time. And so it doesn't, so they don't get mad in the middle and then say, you can't come onto our property.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's crazy that there's been actually a lot of construction back there and nobody's ever said anything to me about using any parking spaces, any other spaces that are technically mine. Do I think it's a big deal? No, it's short term, it's being neighborly, but I just find it's strange that it comes up now, because even the Dollar, when they did all their construction, everybody parked where mine and my neighbor's parking is. Or they were doing projects in the alleyway, which I get that it's not a true alleyway, but I just don't get why surrounding areas didn't have to follow the same.
There wasn't permits, that was a remodel, there was no
Yeah, that
permits, it
didn't
didn't
come
come to
before
us,
us.
does that make sense? They just used it to use it.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, there didn't, a site permit didn't come before us because it was the same use.
Because it was just wooden
Yeah,
inside.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
So. Okay, let's see, so we covered that one. Condition that the proof from the Department of Transportation that existing posts are approved. And that will be covered through your state permit. All hazardous materials will be handled in accordance with state standards and applicable permits. Let's see, per code 10.3-4, grease traps will be installed prior to operations, and 13, ADA compliance will be prioritized by the applicant and will comply with all applicable permitting requirements. And number 14, trash enclosure in accordance with 11-4-SE. And it says this is still being worked out with neighboring property owners, and the plan will be provided to the town. So those are the items there.
And I can send you that document too, so I didn't realize you didn't have it, so.
That's okay. Thank you.
I'm going to catch up.
Okay. All right. You got anything else? Okay. All right. On that. Okay, number 8B, STIP resolution. So that is the resolution we adopted, I think in February, naming Brennan and I as authorized people on the STIP account. Now that we've consolidated bank accounts, we need to update it again because we have a new bank account number. So it's resolution number 625.
And you just need an approval on this?
Yeah, so.
I move to approve resolution 625.
Second.
And that is the resolution authorizing participation in the Montana Board of Investment short-term investment pool. Okay, we had a second? Yes. Any discussion? Questions? Nope. Okay, moving forward. Commissioner Way?
Aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Ranson?
I,
Okay. Let's see, let's go to the MMA Employee Benefits Group Election Form. This is a form that we have to fill out online. Talking about our employee benefits, essentially, and there's a final rates package in there for us to take a look at. And
Which one do you want up first?
maybe just the first one. Yeah, so this is the form that we need to fill out.
Thank you. Diane.
So this basically states that the medical election plan, the employees get to choose from the menu. Dental and vision benefits are offered, and so is orthodontics. And then it says city paid life and AD&D coverage. It's, I guess it's not offered through us. And then, but the employee paid is offered for life insurance. We currently have 12 employees, and there's 11 eligible for benefits. There's 9 of them enrolled. Keep going down. Number of hours worked per week to be eligible for benefits regardless of employer contribution. You have to work 20 hours. So city and town monthly contribution is 100% and 100% for dependents, full-time employees. I just lose the computer, and then it says, is this, and then it's prorated, we prorate for part-time employees. Does your city or town contribute to the employees that waive the medical plan? We do not contribute to employees that waive the medical plan. Does your city or town allow elected officials and contracted executive positions to participate in the benefits? Currently, that's no.
We could change that to yes and then just work it out in the budget, if that is something, you know, you can open up, you don't have, it doesn't obligate you to anything there. It just leaves it for budgetary. So, anyway, want to put that before you guys, we have to fill it out before tomorrow, or tomorrow,
April 16th. is
April
when-
16th, so.
Can you refresh my memory in the new handbook, what our part-time contribution for hours is?
So in our current, I think it's, we haven't adopted that one, and it's still going through it, so we can adjust that. So we can adjust the 20 hours per week if you wanted to.
But do we have to do that by tomorrow when we start?
Well, we would have to do it, but yeah, so whatever you would want to do.
The handbook by then.
Or not the handbook, by the 16th, they would just need to coordinate with each other. So whatever we set it at tonight, we would want to make sure that it's in the handbook. We'll coordinate.
And we can update, it said the contacts like Ginger on there and all.
Yeah, that's always already been updated.
Okay.
So I think they sent this out a while ago.
Okay.
So.
I haven't looked, I've been gonna look, I actually need to get a laptop from you.
Oh, yeah.
We were gonna change the resolution so that our employees now are grandfathered in, but new hires will no longer be eligible for full paid coverage, like they're, like, right, wasn't there?
Did that ever happen?
Right, that's what I guessed.
Well, it hasn't happened.
That's not what it was. It was dropped down to 90% for new hires.
But, and that's what I'm saying, like, do you know if that's documented, Eric, or if it was a resolution?
That
if it
was you
ever-
guys doing it. I mean, that was the council doing it. And I believe that was, John was there. He's right there next to you. He was there.
Does that mean you remember?
But we can
No, I don't
do that,
remember.
we can do that in a,
I was here during the
I think,
preaching
and we can-
ordinance too.
we can do that by resolution, and we can do it by fiscal year as well.
Cody.
Okay. That's funny. Sorry. Okay.
Nice, is that because our benefits are too good, essentially?
No, I really, I know that they're expensive, but I think that they're a great recruiting tool, and they also are a great retention tool. So I'm not interested in
Lowering them.
lowering them at all, because I think that it is,
Yeah.
it is.
I just would like to know if that was ever followed through and.
I don't know, I guess we'd have to look through the minutes and see what that,
Yeah.
what that discussion was.
Yeah, dude.
I remember talking about it, but I
Oh,
don't
we've talked
remember.
about it so many times.
But I also feel like Mitch was a huge part of that conversation,
Yeah.
because it was job code or job
Yeah.
description and insurance or benefits, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we.
I don't remember a resolution being
Mm-mm.
I don't think it
passed.
was a resolution.
Yeah,
We-
nothing
I
like
think it was
official
talked about.
that way, but definitely talked
And that's
about,
something
yes.
we can address in the employee handbook too.
Do you need a motion for you to go over this, or are you just telling us about this?
Did you want to go over the rate adjustments?
Yeah.
She'll put, yeah, if you wanna go pull up the other rates.
So these
So-
are the overall, let's see, shows right here. Final rate adjustment, these are what they,
So will you pull up the other one that said the standard rates, the other file, or is it there, right
I
there?
think it's on this, all right?
Yeah, at the bottom, so that goes over the deductibles, so in our current plan, our employees get to choose whichever of those ones that they want, so, so for the employee only, for the Bridger plan, it's $992, for employee, spouse, and children, so if it's, employee, spouse, and children, it's $2,728. So if you have a family, if it's just an employee and a child, it's $1,736. So they get to choose, which I would imagine they would just choose that one. If you want a high deductible, and health savings account one, for one employee, it's $741. And employee, spouse, and children is $2,038.
And the town's paying for all of that, correct?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you choose the best one, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, they
Yeah.
probably all choose that, but on the election form, it says menu that they're allowed to choose.
Mhm.
I don't believe I had a choice when I started. I think we just had this plan we went with, but
Someone might have chosen for you.
I feel like the merchant you're saying that. Yeah.
To choose, so, okay.
So you need a motion?
Yes, and did you wanna, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you wanna open it up that elected officials could, and you could charge elected officials? You know, it's not that you would cover theirs,
Yeah.
but it would open it up to.
I mean, there's not a whole big, huge pool of people dying to be an elected official, so maybe it would help. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be, yeah, great, but
While we're in here and doing it, why not?
Yeah, that was kind of my thought, and then you can,
But then do we have to know like what the criteria is for that right now?
no,
No,
Okay.
you're just,
And you can set
you're
it-
adding it when you do it.
yeah,
Checking the box that you could do this.
yeah.
So it's there in case I
Wants to
wanna
operate.
use
Yeah.
it.
could it be like you're essentially getting, like, you're a member of the group and here's what you have, and you're still gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you still have to pay for
Could
it,
be
or in the
just-
budget, you could say, hey, we're gonna throw $50 if you, towards elected officials
Nice.
at the budget
Yeah.
time, and then you can determine whether or not.
So yeah, maybe make that amendment on it.
You know, I think it's a good idea. I think that, like it was mentioned, there's really not a whole lot of people wanting to sit at this table, or the planning board, or the zoning board, or any of these stupid boards. But, I don't like voting myself a raise, and it kind of feels a little like that to me.
I don't think it would be a raise, because it's not guaranteed.
Yeah,
And it's not free, I mean, you have to pay for it.
true.
It's not,
That's
the
true.
taxpayers aren't paying for it, right? That's
Yeah.
part of it.
No,
So it's just
Right.
an option,
Okay.
an affordable option.
Veterans discount, health insurance is not discounted. It's actually I don't have it. so.
I know, I was like, nah,
Yeah, I just,
this is kind of.
alright. So, someone wanna make a motion? Alright, I'll move to approve, this with including elected officials.
I'll second.
Does that work?
Sorry, back to discussion. So when do we have to know the part-time hourly qualification?
that would be now.
Is it set at 20 or 30?
It's at 20 on this
What are
one.
you worried about?
20 hours? That's like
Yeah, but they have to pay.
Yeah, and it's
They would
prorated.
have to pay.
So if they're
a
only
month.
working 20 hours, it's only gonna cover half
You
of
know
their, half of theirs.
Lady in the back knows stuff.
I just have a comment.
Yes.
It's 20 hours seems, is your concern that 20 hours isn't enough to justify the benefit?
Maybe not. I
Okay,
guess I would just wanted it to match with the handbook.
I see, okay. I think I'm the only one that may have a 20-hour employee. And I can tell you, in the last 3 years, I don't know how many, 6, I've gone through 6, and I can't keep a part-time. There's not enough benefit for a part-time employee to stay with the town. So something like that might appeal to someone. So if you were thinking about changing that, I would ask that you just consider that carefully for our one part-time employee that we might have.
And there might be like one public works come summer, but.
Well, I don't think temporary employees.
Temporary, yeah, so they can't.
So are you saying you wanted to go up or down, but
Leave it at 20.
At least 20.
Okay.
Not, higher.
yeah, but not, okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, so and at 20 hours, they would get 50% of their health coverage, right? Because it's prorated based on the number of hours that they work.
Versus, are you,
Incentive.
Nikki, are you saying, 30 is like the, kind of the normal part-time or the state?
Yeah, I thought 32 hours was full-time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So you have to work at least 20 hours a week
To be eligible
for eligible for any proration of,
Okay. I guess before, because we're not voting on,
and we don't have a lot of, like she said, we don't have a lot of part-time positions.
no, but I just want to make sure it lines up with the new handbook that.
Yeah, so
when play.
when this comes up in the new handbook, make sure it's 20 hours.
Okay. But then I also want to know what that affects for part-time. Never mind.
What do you mean effects?
I don't know. Like I just need to go back and read Lisa's 30 pages of handbook.
Well,
I tried, I have a printout.
I just want to make sure, like, 20 hours pertaining to part-time and then whatever in the handbook says part-time.
Time, yes, yeah, and I think it will. So,
Qualifications for whatever.
yes, absolutely. We will make sure that it does.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Vicki. Thank you. All right. Call to vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Ranson, Commissioner Hankins.
Aye.
Okay, we got that one done. Okay. Okay, so town hall leases, for those who may or may not know, we have 2 leases within town hall department, and then we also have the ambulance bay. So they are both, and we can talk about them independently. So they are, they're both month to month. I think there was there was some discussion back in like June about this, but then nothing really ever happened. So, so the upstairs lease is $700 a month. It includes utilities. Does not include garbage. I can pull it up for you.
I have copies, well, I have one copy.
Oh, perfect. I think that would be.
I feel like this is discussed like 2 or 3 times a year and then.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna do something here.
So
Third time's right.
there are times that are, so, you know, my question is that, so, Public Works, as you know, we're looking for a Public Works employee, and Public Works has had a lot of employees, thank you so much. Public Works has had, a lot of employee turnover in the past few years. And so, I am curious to get your opinion on whether or not, if we had the option to offer some kind of employee housing, if that would be a attractive benefit. They would still pay for the housing, but if there would be an attractive benefit to workers. And it wouldn't just have to be a Public Works employee. It could also be any other town employee as well. So is that something that the commission wants to consider?
I think that's a great idea, and I think that, I mean, as long as Eric's okay with it and thinks it's a great idea as well, but I mean, I know when you hire people here and bring them into town, you almost have to provide housing or you can't hire them.
Yeah.
So it just seems like a logical, we have housing, we need employees, let's put them together.
I just had a house sell for $650,000 down the street from me.
Yeah. Well, it's under contract, yeah.
Which you, to be able
Which
to
was
make
a
payments.
fixer upper. It was a fixer upper at $650,000.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So.
You make, what are your payments on that a month? $4,000. So I don't know what that comes to for an hourly rate, but the new Public Works guy is not going to be able to afford to purchase.
We had Lucas here and he was really interested in that. But he also, at that rate, could not afford to buy anything in town. Not even close. That's my only concern about that upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like logical. We have housing, we need people to work.
There is a second part to it. The person, you know, it's been leased up there for about 15 years for the same person. So we will have to do work to it, I think, anytime. Yeah. So there's probably gonna be some needs for some upgrades out there. There is the building, there is the rent from that, that has gone into a specific fund. I believe there's about $38,000
Roughly, yeah.
in there. So I was thinking that we could use that money to, whether it be painting, flooring, I don't know, I've never been up there. So, and then also, what kind of time frame? I think this tenant has been a really good tenant. So, want to give them ample time to.
Like 3 months, is that ample enough, do you think?
Well, then we got to kind of partner with, getting work done and hiring somebody. So I don't know if we want to put it, yeah, so.
I mean, yeah,
2
whatever you
months.
guys say. I mean, if been a great employee and great person, or a great renter and great person in town, I would hate to give them like 1 month notice.
No, yeah, no, I don't think
And
that's.
be like, you need to find a new place. Good luck.
Sure.
Um,
But it
I guess-
is, when the contract's month to month.
Yeah, the contract's month to month.
I guess, I went this process, I had the apartment rented for employee housing and everything, and then after having a shitty employee and a crazy girl in the housing, I got kind of scared about mixing it and having the apartment. Does that make sense? And having somebody that comes that is crazy, that now works for us, that we have to get out and get rid of and have problems, does that?
Yeah, well, I think we would
Where
have
she's
to.
been an amazing tenant forever and we have a good thing going. I know that sucks to hear, but I got rid of my apartment immediately after the crazy employee.
Yeah.
And I just think we open ourselves up to,
Well, there's gotta be a way to.
I know we need housing and I know we need stuff, but I don't know if we kick somebody else, but they're 15 years and is a good tenant to then have a high turnover rate and
But they're
craziness.
also living on above a business and an established working business, so there has to be some kind of not ordinance, but rules that they have to follow. Quiet time or something, I don't know. We should be able to draft something.
Oh, yeah.
It's
with the
the
lease.
same, it's just saying, they don't always leave, they don't, there's a lot of cans of worms you open yourself up to.
You can,
have
but
employee
an
housing.
ironclad lease, even my employees that come work for us, we have 2 houses full of them.
Mhm.
And they have a pretty substantial lease and they pay a security deposit, each one of them. And Kayla goes in when they leave and, I mean, because she's better at it than I am with the security deposit. And
Yeah,
so, knock on wood, we really haven't had that problem that others have, but we have a pretty good lease too.
And just have it be written in there that when you're no longer an employee of the town, then.
you have all of that, it doesn't mean it always happens. I'm just saying, you're opening yourself up to.
Yeah. I guess
Because ultimately,
So, are we voting on this?
yeah, I need a motion. Yeah, I need a motion of some kind. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
So we have to come up with a time frame and everything then?
Yeah,
Right, so on that, I guess, how we structure that, say the public works guy doesn't want to live there, so is it,
Then it goes back out to the lease?
does
Or do we
it
keep
set dormant? And then there's no income coming in, I guess, I'd just be curious to see how we're gonna structure it ultimately.
Yeah, is that all, does that all? We have to approve like all the stipulations? and everything?
No, you just have to approve.
But we need to give ourselves.
So we're not gonna put it back up for lease though, we're just gonna
With
use
that.
it for employee housing.
Well, no, you don't have to say, oh, it's absolutely gonna be employee housing.
But to kick somebody out that's
Oh.
been there 15 years and put it
Oh,
back
I'm
up to
sorry,
lease
I
is
missed it.
really rude.
No, I get you. Is
But I
that a
think-
copy? Yeah, that's
Can I
it.
see it?
I think the school does it, the hospital does it, it's, I think it's practical.
But we wouldn't
Wanna do
lease it if we don't have an employee in it. The school and stuff don't rent theirs out if there's not employees in them. It's only employee housing.
Yeah. But it does open up, if you're a new if you're a new hire for Eric, it does open up the option for, it's appealing for maybe a high school student who graduates from Ennis High to want to stick around, so.
How was the last high school student you worked with? And how long did they stick around?
You're a good dad, Eric. You'll do a
I'm just
wonderful
saying,
job
if we
training.
do this, it's not getting released. It's employee housing.
I'm just trying to be real about it. You know, I don't know. I've struggled with this for a minute. Housing would be great, but look at the turnover.
But also we need to look at, it's not necessarily just public works. It could be a library employee, it could be a clerk if we decide to replace the other clerk.
But they are right, though. You can't.
Yeah. It could be other employees of, yeah, it could be other employees of.
Yeah.
Do you want to move into it, Brenna?
I have a great system going right now.
Yeah, you don't wanna live where you
Standard.
were.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've debated it, but
I call it live-in labor. I used to wake up all my employees by cooking a bunch of jalapenos in a frying pan, and they lived at my house.
I think you would open up the pool of employees more than you maybe even realize.
Have to choose from, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and ultimately, what's a loss of $700 a month?
Well, I was gonna make a comment, because it's
Everybody's
been
place to live.
several times, like,
That's
an
under right.
actual
That's
standard
cheap.
rent price, because that's not
Yeah.
That's,
That was from
Yeah.
2020.
the right
That's
amount.
the last.
I would do it for that.
I know my employees are paying $500 a room.
Yeah, but it's standard rooms are 1,000 now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In Bozeman and everywhere,
Yeah.
rooms 1,000 now, 1,200.
But I'm
1,200.
just saying,
It is.
700 for the 3-bedroom apartment that's upstairs is,
Right.
or 4-bedroom?
Hasn't been updated and hasn't.
It has been updated and
Some?
you have to live above the ambulance, so there's some downsides.
There is, but
The ambulance is
Seven.
another lease that we're looking at, though,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, we can just talk about it. That's a month to month lease.
Hasn't
so,
raised
okay.
either, so I'm sorry, I'll pay $625.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never moving. We can do this, it just stays employee housing, we don't release it.
I agree.
Okay.
That's my only stipulation.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
so is that a sneaky motion I heard?
Oh, no, we have to decide a time frame on how long. We have to get Lydia.
Well, did we make a motion to discuss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve a lease, updated lease for town hall.
I would say it would move to approve, or move.
No.
I'm like, no, that didn't work.
Move to approve
Terminating
terminating the
Terminating
current
the
lease.
Terminating the current leases that's in
To
town.
make it employee housing. Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll second that, now that we're clean.
Now,
Did you get all that,
Two of
Brenna?
you came up with something.
That's right.
Did you get all that, Brenna?
Brenna will make it sound.
Brenna will make it sound right.
Thank you.
So now, time frame.
Well, we can do that as an amendment, I think at least 2 months.
Because I think it's probably gonna take another month to replace.
To do the
the prep. You
construction.
would know, you.
And think about.
So mine's taking 18 months.
Or whoever's gonna work on it.
What's that?
You know, to get someone on the books to work on, to do the remodel or whatever.
Yeah,
needed.
yeah, it's gonna take that long
2
too.
months out.
Yeah, and to get materials and all that kind of stuff.
So are we saying 3 months then?
No, I think it's
2 months. and
2
then
months and then a month.
third month.
Ready for employees. in
Yeah,
3 months.
I think I'm okay with that.
Do we have to put it out to bid?
No,
No.
unless it's more than $80,000, no.
No.
And then there's we can look at the plans up there, whether you want to
Maybe two.
change the layout. You could potentially turn it into 2, because there's a front and a back, or we could use some of the space for storage, or that kind of thing too.
We can do that after we.
Yes, after this, yeah,
after we get it.
yeah, and then we
And then we
can
can
look at
revalidate.
it, look at the plan.
A duplex,
Duplex. We need Two would be way better than one, because if we have it for a second and then somebody takes it right away, we lose that incentive to hire people. Or a little cookie carrot dangle.
Yeah, but that would also
So two would be way
change,
better.
you know, the cost would change too, because moving plumbing
Then
and
you
stuff like
also
that.
narrow down who's gonna live there, because it's not gonna be a family with kids probably, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah,
someone maybe more mobile, only wants to live in a one bedroom, or, you know, someone more apt to move around.
Yeah.
Versus like
Transient,
a
that-
3 bedroom or whatever is up there
Sure.
for,
Yeah,
has a family that'll stick
Sure.
around possibly and kind of, I don't know, pros and cons.
yeah, and we can look at that at a later time, so.
Yeah, I guess, do we possibly offer it as for other entities in town, the school and the hospital?
No, they have their own.
Well, I mean, I would say like, you know, if it was empty and they needed it for a month to month.
You can turn it into a short-term rental.
oh, for the love of God, can we please?
There's
I'm
your
gonna stay
revenue,
with the ambulance.
there's your
Okay.
revenue increase for the year. Let's go for way more.
I'm just saying,
We broke.
maybe, you know, and maybe, yeah, I don't know,
No.
I'm just throwing it out. as
Great views
other-
of Lowell.
All right, so we have a
2 a.m.
motion.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make an amendment to the motion that we give the current renter 60 days from the notice of cancellation of lease.
One second.
Vote on the amendment. Commissioner Ranson, Commissioner Hankins, Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
Aye, okay. The motion is amended, and any other public comment, discussion? No?
Is 60
days long enough?
I know, I feel so bad and I'm going to get murdered over this.
That's 15 years that person's been there. You can't give her 3 months. Like, come on.
3 months, 4 months, you guys, I know, this is bad. 2 months.
How long does
3
it
months.
take you to find a house in Ennis?
2 years, 7 months.
If the
well,
reason is to use it as a recruitment tool,
I get it, it's just a lot and it's gonna be devastating.
Can we agree that 3 months might be closer
Where you
to?
voted.
Oh, well, we can.
Well,
I'm gonna
change your
change
I
mind.
know, you can amend it again.
I don't know, I've not rented.
I don't know.
Brittany can move in 15 days.
With 4
Have the right
kids.
price.
Do you think 3 months is enough?
Oh, it's not up to me.
Yeah, well,
I think 2 is short and quick, but it's also normal and legal. I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
horrible for
it's
her,
month to
but
month, so.
It's like an employee quitting and they
I was
give you
gonna
1 or
ask,
2
is her
weeks,
lease
you know,
right
you
now
keep-
month to month?
Mhm.
it's been months for her.
Well, then
It
kind of
sucks either way,
that's
but-
back on the person that,
Yes. it
that's
just sucks.
renting
I
that
think-
didn't lock in with a
It's been, the-
guarantee,
it's
so.
been the same lease since 2020.
Yeah.
It
Can
sucks.
we like edit it to be a little slightly flexible?
I know, no.
I know,
Get in
it's
trouble.
either we're nice or we're not, and I think 2 months is,
It's gonna
it
be
sucks,
painful
but-
regardless, it's just a
Yes.
hard conversation to have, so.
yes.
Yeah. Summer season hasn't kicked off yet. There's probably still a handful of rentals out there at this point.
2 works for the county, should help. It just sucks.
Yeah, they all have to come up and play housing county.
Well, they have a board.
Yeah. Perfect.
Call the question.
No question, Commissioner Hankins.
Aye.
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 Alright, now the ambulance.
Now the ambulance, one, let me double check,
Is that the original lease,
let's see,
or is it been updated?
But it's
since
month,
this
it's month to month too now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I believe so.
it was 5 to start, or 3 to start, was it review? No, 5 or 3 years was review. Remember, they were in lock in, that we were gonna move them.
I can't even read this. Okay, this was
But we
signed,
talked about this 10
this
years
was signed by Blake Levitt.
10 years ago.
Signed by Blake, God, that was
Yeah, so that-
4,
5, 6,
5, 6 years ago.
when I was on here. We did it when we transferred the ambulance. Lisa was on here too, right?
I'm just trying to look at, okay, let's see, this agreement will be from the term beginning. This agreement will be from the term beginning May 1, 2021 and ending on October 2021.
May to October.
At $500.
You're right. 5
Um,
months, you're exactly right.
So, they're supposed to pay for utilities, but I don't think that that is portioned out.
My question on this is if we kick them out,
I don't think,
what would we use that bay for? Do we have?
no, and I'm not suggesting that at all. I was just.
Can we revise it?
I'm just saying.
I think
If
there
we're
could
gonna
be a lot.
re-sign a lease, we should talk, should we re-sign the lease?
Yeah,
Or could we use that
Well,
space
we
more?
definitely could use that space.
If we
Yeah.
go back to the
I
original.
could fill that up in 10 minutes.
When we go back to the original, when all this happened, it was supposed to be temporary and they were building the place.
Yeah.
And we are at
That was in like 21, right?
2021, when it all, 21, when it all happened.
Yeah, obviously.
This was
6 months,
temporary,
it was
and that's why we did the like 5 months lease, because they really thought it was going to be temporary and they were gonna find their own stuff. So,
I will say they do have that levy to renew the ambulance district, which, you know, I would hope would pass, because it's really vital that, would, so,
Is that spring or fall?
I think it's spring, I think it's coming up.
May,
Yeah, I think it's in May. Yeah,
but they have
So-
advertised for 7 days.
I saw an advertisement at the library, it's posted at the library, and I got a letter, anyway. So regardless, I guess maybe we should. Yeah, that, but we would want to give them
You
like
asked
a
him, he
year,
wants it.
a year notice,
Okay.
because they have to build the whole.
He wanted it then.
That's not, I mean, as a landowner, that's not our, if we need the space, the lease is month to month, then
Yeah, yeah.
then we figure out a way to do it, but,
But I think-
if we don't need the space today, then, but if Eric says,
I think
I absolutely need it. then-
Yeah, and I think there are plans of, I can tell you, you know, we could use the space, as far as whether it be, you know.
Gym equipment, I'm just kidding.
Well, and if it's also, if it says that we're supposed to be doing utilities, that's,
But you have to put a meter in, we don't
Can
have
we-
one that.
But we could also look at, you know, what we could use.
Can we approach them about their plan, or if it's in
Or
their
because we
plan?
could usually, we could have,
That's what I-
you know, other offices, if you see 3 desks crammed in there, you know, we could have more storage. Let me show you what's in the Connex out back.
So can we ask them what their plan is, or if there's a plan, and maybe put it in their wheelhouse that maybe we're not?
Yeah, you know, and I think I've kind of mentioned like, hey, you know, you guys got any plans, you know, we're gonna, you know, need that space. Because there is that capital improvement item of the capital improvement plan from 2015 that says, you know, we're gonna make town ADA accessible and, you know, things like that. So, and there is, you know, there is funding, some funding checked aside away for that too. So
You got 3 vehicles out here you could sell.
I'm working on that. The Fairview's that in our police department, but I have to, that's a resolution.
We gotta deal with the police.
has to go to
department.
the auction, doesn't it? Or not?
Well, we would have to send a resolution. It wouldn't have to go to an auction. We would just have to do a resolution that we're selling extra equipment. So that's a
Probably
resolution.
almost in an accident.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you wanna do with this garage, guys?
I think the garage is fine.
I think we need
Wanna leave it
to,
go?
I think we need to invite the hospital in to at least hear their side of it. It is a public, they provide a public service, unlike, you know,
Yeah, I think we need to
individual
talk with
here.
them and see what their
No,
plans
we
are.
just need to make sure that there's a plan in motion at some point. It's
Yeah.
been, what, 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
So,
And give them time during the summer season,
Totally.
like,
no,
before winter when they really need it plugged in.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
exactly, yeah.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
this is in
So
your,
we'll just put
2-year
that on,
plan,
yeah,
1-year
so let's
plan,
just have a
is-
conversation with them. about what is your plan, maybe after.
We need the space.
Yeah, you know, we need the space, what's your plan, what would be your timeline? Because I would imagine, you know, they have to at some point. They would want their own facility, it would be closer to
They
them.
talked about that stuff all back then, so we just need to bring it up.
But they're also getting a really good deal.
Yes, Miss Karen.
Yes, I just want to plant a seed. Eric, don't throw a rod. I just want to qualify that list right now. Down the road sometime, if this space were available to consolidate public works with all the mowers, that building that's sitting by the library. I mean, you have a department whose building is busty at the seams.
Yeah,
It would greatly behoove us to include that sometime in the future as part of our growth plan.
yeah,
If there were a plan to, you know, all planned out. I just want to plant that seed now with
Sure.
everyone.
the library.
Yeah,
Some
in
space.
the future, Eric, not
Hey, you,
30 days,
Karen,
not right
Karen?
now.
Karen, listen, if there was a way to get something the equivalent of exactly what's there, because that building is chock block full. If there was any way to get that, I would have no problem.
He would love to give you the space. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'd say. With a plan, I think it's all, it
Yeah,
can
so
all
maybe
be,
that's part of
all
the
be
capital
doable.
plan. Okay. All right, so our path forward on this one is to talk to the hospital and invite them to a conversation and see what they're at. Okay, perfect. All right, we got that one down. The next one I'm gonna hit is the commission vacancy. So we did advertise, we had one person put in for it. She also applied at the library and was offered that position. So we're gonna have to Karen and I were duking it out for, this person who is very well qualified, but since then, they're no longer, since they took the job at the library, they can't be an employee.
So Brittany's gonna do it.
So we're gonna open it back up, so that
Brittany
person
sent me
has,
a letter.
so that person has withdrawn, so we're gonna open it back up. And hopefully to
See how easy this worked?
have.
Look, it's been good, it's fine.
If we write a letter on your behalf,
We could, maybe a
You
temporary
and-
playroom in there. Yeah.
For all of them.
So that's where we're at with that. just wanna
so,
let you know.
all right, by statute, do we have to fill it? Do we have to re-advertise it?
Yes.
What's the
We're
statute?
supposed to appoint somebody within 30 days.
Okay.
That
that's
can
what the
happen, but
statute-
there are other communities that have, you know, they've advertised and they advertise, they can't fill it, and then you can make, I think, can't remember what town it is they have a guy that leaves for 6 months down south, and they let him telecommute, you know,
Oh, sure.
yeah. So, but yes, we do have to advertise it, we have to keep advertising.
We do, we just have to keep the loop of advertise, I mean, even if somebody doesn't.
Yeah.
And then we're in compliance with statute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is where we are at with that.
What if somebody applies that you guys don't feel is qualified? Can you decline them and then keep
I'll
applying?
have to research that. I don't think so. I think if they are ineligible, if they meet all the eligibility requirements, the only eligibility requirements,
Must live in town.
it'd be 18 and a registered voter,
High IQ.
How you got here?
Yeah.
So,
Somehow you slid through the cracks so much.
So if a person applies and you guys don't agree on that person, and that's the only person, then you're stuck with
by
that
default,
person.
so by default, yeah.
Everyone's saying that.
Yeah. So that's how that works.
So we don't technically vote them, then we just take it.
They're just appointed
By
to the
default.
seat. Just like when I fill out my paperwork.
And that's a lot of.
Yep, so that's what that is. So just wanted to let you know that. Okay, our next item is employee grievance. As the commissioners know, there is an employee grievance filed. And I am gonna turn this, agenda item over to, Mr. John Way.
Perfect, thank you. I've consulted with our attorney on this. And at this point, the town's grievance policy applies specifically to town employees. Due to Mr. Moore's resignation from his employment with the town of Ennis, Mr. Moore is no longer an employee of the town, and his grievance is therefore moot and dismissed at this point. So we don't have to vote on it. It's just he voluntarily left employment with the town, so his grievance is done.
For the second time.
Correct.
What?
No, that's it. There's no public comment on that. So, that is that. So, okay. We will move on to commission comments. Mr. Way.
My comment is, what time is it?
No.
Yeah, I have nothing at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Ranson.
I've been busy working on my beer and wine license. My brain's mush.
Commissioner Higgins?
With the help of Mayor Lisa Roberts, I've been trying to attempt to help work on the Montana Main Street project. And that's really all I got to. Thank you for your help though.
Myself and Hannah Powell will be meeting up with Eric tomorrow morning to kind of discuss a restructuring of the tree board essentially to potentially make it part of the Public Works Department. Just because we kind of need to be working, successful tree boards in Hannah's professional opinion are a part of the Public Works Department. So the two work hand in hand and yeah, just get stuff done. So that's how it means.
Does that look like a person, an employee from Public Works is like on the board? Is that how they are involved?
Yes, well, I would think we would kind of structure it that way, or at least have a liaison that's gonna communicate directly with Eric or somebody from Public Works. So yeah, that's,
Makes sense.
yeah, sure.
Is that the same Hannah that was under
Yeah.
the, oh, okay.
It is.
Was there a determination on that roundabout area? Is that the 40s or is that Ennis?
That's the town of Ennis.
Okay, so they gotta square that away so they don't run over the water lines and the trees just die?
Yep.
Okay, good idea.
Good idea, to work together, better communication, and the way that it operates, the way that ordinance is written is not how it's been operating. So we've got a few examples of that, so we're gonna tighten up to reflect on actually how it operates, correct?
Yeah.
And that, okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I've been working on a fair amount. I've been working on the handbook. It is now with Mr. Ed Guza, to take a look to make sure that, our handbook is in compliance. So that will be coming before us here probably in the next month or so. I worked with Great West Engineering on the pre-treatment and getting that. Also, noticed on our CDGB grant, they did approve our scope. I believe I emailed that to you guys, with some things. We had to do an environmental assessment. So Brona and I and the Kasia from Great West Engineering have been working to get all that out on its timeline, because we have to meet public comment periods and everything else. So we're doing that. So we're hoping to get all that done. So then Carneth, so we have to get that done before Carneth can start construction. So we're working towards that. I helped the Lions Club apply for that asset grant, that tourism asset grant. And So we did that. Also in regards to Montana Main Street. So that is going to take a group of community members to move that forward. So that's what Montana Main Street is about. It's about using the 4 points approach, which is economic vitality, organization, design, and process, I think. And that, so basically you have to assemble a group of community members, they come to a training, and then you can apply to be a part of Montana Main Street, which opens the doors to more funding for community projects. So it's a good thing to be a part of. Let's see, we also are coming up with a process to do some enforcement as well, as we talked about. Let's see, I got a tour of the Connex today on stuff that, with that. Oh, okay, so about stuff that, you know, we've got records from the ambulance from 1992. So we're gonna be going on a major shredding operation, so if you have anything to be shredded, we're gonna figure that out, because we have a lot of.
There's companies that pick that stuff up.
Yeah.
That need to be shredded, they come just take off.
Okay, well, yeah, so we're.
Especially if it's a lot.
Yeah.
There's companies that come take it all and shred it.
Well,
and
they
they're
bring the
licensed-
shredder truck to you.
Yeah, or something, but they're
That's what we're
licensed
looking
and
at. Yeah,
insured and
that's what,
everything,
that's
yeah.
what
Okay.
we're looking at, so.
Especially since it's medical and everything.
Yeah, so, so we're looking at that, we're looking at the retention schedule.
We just light it on fire. I'm just kidding.
So we're looking at the retention schedule to make sure that we meet all the retention pieces and, that, so, but I think that will free up some space as well. So, and then, yeah, researching a couple of other things. We have that piece of property up in Antelope Meadows. It might be worth considering selling that to put that towards, another water source, as well.
That's the one with the very old tank on it?
Yeah.
It's a concrete
I
tank.
heard stuff, did you have that in it?
Some prepper's gonna buy that for sure.
I approached the town to buy it like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So-
And the town told me no.
Here you go.
So I
I was in a different place then.
don't know.
More
what-
play housing.
I don't know what the town would do with it, if we need it. I was gonna reach out to the former mayor that, you know, when that came offline, as to what, if there were thoughts of future plans and why they were holding on to it. I don't know, that'll be up to you guys whether or not you wanna do that. So I'll at least look into it and see what it would take. Also, another thing with excess equipment is we need to talk about the police vehicles, because just sitting there, they're not doing any good
But
either.
for a couple of years, Eric's been talking about a whole on auction, like there's tons of stuff back there.
Okay,
I
so we
think
can
he
talk.
sent a lot of
He-
it.
Like, you
We
got
already
rid of it?
Yeah,
We did,
right,
I
we
think
already
so.
did it. Yeah, there's this really old street sweeper that we just can't get rid of, like, we'd have to pay someone to haul it away. But anyway, so we'll probably have that excess equipment resolution and what we want to do with the police vehicles. Fairview is looking for some police vehicles, so I was gonna send them the information over on that, see if they're at least interested in those, because just sitting there, they're not doing any.
No.
But I think we have to have a resolution on what we're gonna do with the police department.
Yes, and I've been talking to Ed, we need to figure that
Yeah.
out too, is if there is in our ordinance, if we just, you know, leave it as it is and then just add something that says that we may contract with the county.
Yeah, we have to do something
We have to
to
do something.
satisfy that one code.
Yes, yeah, and there's also a bunch of radios, the IT, room above the garage. There's just some excess items that we need to figure out what to do. So yeah, so those are probably all coming in the next couple of months. Of course, budget as well. Brenna was working, she took a budget class. I'm also gonna work with Jody and maybe come up with some different scenarios to propose to you guys. So maybe that we can have a consensus on a budget moving into the fiscal year. And then, you know,
Adopt it.
well, then once we get our value,
Yeah,
then
we're
we
gonna
can,
have to reassess after that.
yeah. And so, but kind of get a baseline of where we're at. So we're not having to have a meeting every week in August. Yeah, so we can kind of do the heavy
To
lifting.
actually have it done.
To do the heavy lifting ahead of time. So, and then if that way you have any questions.
use some of that part of that money to buy water.
Yeah, we could do that, or get some other, yeah, and then we have to talk about the other one first and stuff like
I'm just joking.
that. Maybe we'll apply for another grant for that. Yes, but.
I meant to ask on the lease item, I apologize, but does the town also lease the land for the dump to the county, or is that not, is that?
Yes,
a lease or is it?
We lease that, it's like $1 a year or something.
Yeah, that would be good revenue for the town to maybe bring that up.
What?
Yeah.
I never knew this.
We'll see how much work we got out of Cody.
I would say the county's playing nice with us at the moment. I think we try to let that ride.
Put it in your pocket anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll use that at a later date, but it is a good one, so thank you. So, but yeah, those are all my comments. And that is it. So I don't think we have any other unscheduled.
Never heard that before tonight. There's something new every day.
Move to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All vote. Aye. Motion passes. But I have
I don't have much flexibility.
Do you want mine? Yeah, I can bring you my old one.
Oh, yeah, I don't care, I just need one now.
John, I have a question.
Nice, quiet child.
We just do it. Well. What's that? You didn't, you got it right across me. Yeah, that's why.
No. They're for onions, so they.
I don't think she would
Is there close stuff like that, so I can put it all.
Well, I start, yeah, I think I have one too, but these are onion toast spreaders.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you know anybody with foot issues? Like, I don't know.
Should I go to her?
It's just important, so I didn't really listen to her too much, but,
Yeah, you have to. How do I have to get a toast batter? Yeah. She's never asked.
Yeah, I wear.
Funny thing, so that lady comes in, when she's I have a lease.
I hate having to have my windows closed.
Oh, yeah.
I am so DC of that road.
Yeah, or you can get toast spreaders, so even while Google toast
Are
spreaders
going on my lease.
are another,
That I
I
lease
bet
that
you
road.
can conceal under your
As the
socks.
sole DC.
All that stuff is.
I call it.
Yeah.